Last week on Meat Hunters, you met TK on his quest for a fallow buck in Hungary, and what an incredible quest it was. This week, you'll meet the rest of the crew based in western Pennsylvania in the United States. We're on what I would call a longer journey, a season-long pursuit of North America's most plentiful big game animal, white-tailed deer, each with several tags in hand, all aimed at filling the freezer with venison, and if we're lucky, the wall with antlers. My name is TJ. I'll be representing the three of us here in western Pennsylvania. TK and I formed the Meat Hunters in 2019 to bring a blend of North American and European hunting together with the same goal in mind of acquiring meat for the dinner table and to capture our hunts through the lens of a camera in order to share our adventures with you, as well as to look back on them ourselves one day and relive each and every moment. In 2020, I had my best year as a bow hunter, filling each of my 3 doe tags in the first 2 weeks of the season, and allowing myself several months of hunting with the sole purpose of filling my buck tag. That goal, however, was not accomplished. Heading into the 2021 season, that is high up on my priority list. Archery season is officially open, and I'm headed to a stand that has produced plenty of deer in the past.
I came from the mud, there's dirt on my hands. Strong like a tree, there's roots where I stand. Oh, I've been running from the law. Hope they won't shoot me down soon.
Well, it's the opening day of PA's archery season, and we're back in the same stand that we've had success in on past opening days. This year I've got camera woman, my girlfriend Kyla's here filming, so you'll have a different angle than in the past. I'm looking forward to seeing what that kind of ends up as, but it's a warm evening, it's in the 70s. It should kind of cool off by the end of the night, but hopefully the deer cooperate and come out and maybe we can fill a tag.
Before long, Kyla spotted the first deer of the evening. A solid 9-point buck we had not so creatively named the Split 9 for the split sheet 2 on his left side. As I struggled to get a good look at the deer, I believed it to be a 3.5-year-old 10-point that I had scouted just a couple hundred yards away only weeks earlier. Finally, I caught sight of that unmistakable G2 and hung my bow back on the tree, knowing this was not a buck I wanted to take. As the buck continues to feed in front of us, other deer can be heard moving our direction through the trees. Hunting early in the season limits visibility as everything is still green, but we've come to this stand expecting a doe, and already have eyes on a good young buck. We have to be ready for anything at this point. The evening wears on, and young deer begin to hit the field. It can only be a matter of time until a mature deer steps out. Enjoying the meat hunters so far? Then be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel for tons of other hunting content, and stick around for all the upcoming hunting adventures this year and beyond. Like us on Facebook for regular news updates, and follow us on Instagram to keep up with where we're hunting currently. Now, back to the hunt.
Back. Back.
She should be smoked. The arrow's sitting right there. We'll get down and take a look, but we're, I don't know, 12, 13 yards from where that was. Up high, I think, is about right. Looked like she was running hard, and she kind of jumped and kicked when I shot. But what an opening day. That 9 boy came out. I thought it was the 10 that we scouted a couple of weeks ago. So that got real intense for a minute, but that's not a buck I wanted to take. And then I really thought we weren't gonna see anything tonight as far as does, but all of a sudden she's right there and gave us a shot. I didn't even know if I could get a shot into that window, but I think we did it. I see blood all over it. Bright looking blood to me. I think we're gonna stop here and go back and get better light. I was kind of banking on getting the shot a little earlier, but we can see where she went in, and already decent amount of blood, so I'm encouraged, but we'll get a little better light. Hopefully she's not far.
Got that whole white line of the meat seeker arrow's blood indicator just painted red.
Upon going back for a light, my dad joined us in the tracking effort.
Bright blood too. Well, we didn't make it very far. Probably only 75 yards or so, but I have a tendency to do that with the higher shots, and tracking wasn't the easiest thing, but I mean, if I only go that far, I made the switch to fixed blade broadheads this year, and that was basically the point, to get that full pass through and bring them down a little quicker. So really pleased with that. It's a real good sized deer. So we'll get her gutted out and everything, but that was That was good. Well, pretty good ending to a pretty good opening day. We got to see those bucks that still came through about 10 minutes before last light, and actually looked like I just got part of the heart there. So, pretty good deal. Big old doe. We gotta go get her skinned and everything. It's a warm night, but I couldn't be happier with the start to this 2021 season.
We'd head back again a few days later, only this time we left a little extra early to give Kyla a chance to practice shooting my dad's crossbow. Just a day before I shot my doe, I was picking up Kyla from the airport, so getting her up to speed with a compound bow was out of the question this season. However, my dad can no longer hunt with a compound bow due to a bad back, so on days where he doesn't get to hunt, we'll take the crossbow and see if Kyla can get a chance with it.
You're recording me.
It's a windy evening, so rather than push our luck elsewhere and risk the wind swirling, which could spook deer unnecessarily, we return to the same stand for an observation sit. And even in the wind, deer were on their feet well before dark.
Sit tonight, while we haven't seen anything other than those two young ones, has been a little bit informational. Those two deer came out and just zipped straight through the cornfield. They didn't even sit and feed around, so I'm starting to think maybe they've got it all kind of cleared out back on this back end, and maybe that's what's holding them in the woods longer, so we can maybe kind of take that and run going forward, but still got about 10 minutes here. Maybe something will happen. But at the very least, we kind of learned that tonight. It's our first evening sit at the new property, and I'm pretty excited to see what happens tonight. Unfortunately, we're going in somewhat blind. I've got a little bit of an idea where deer might want to travel, but other than that, it's a lot of kind of trial and error and see what happens. But I know we've got a bedding area kind of behind us. It's been raining off and on all day, which did make it nice. We got in here real quiet, so it's probably about 6 o'clock. We have an hour and a half of legal light left, so I'm excited to sit here and see what happens. Hopefully we can learn a little bit and go from here.
No deer would move through on this hunt. With an out-of-state hunt coming up in a few days, we decided to try it again the following evening. Just before last light, 2 deer surprised us, running into the woods and stopping just behind our tree. As we moved to get eyes on them, the already alert doe caught us.
I don't know what spooked those couple of deer through here, but they were on the lower side of the tree, which, I mean, we can make it work, but not that quickly. If they were on the upper side here where we planned, would have been a whole lot different, but that was a good sign, finally getting to see some deer from the new property. We can work with that and hopefully build on it, but next time we're in a tree, it'll be down in West Virginia, so I'm excited for that.
As our minds turned to our upcoming West Virginia hunt, my brother Isaac was having an eventful hunt of his own.
I'm set up at the back corner of a field. We had the radish plot planted here last year. We didn't plant anything fresh this year, but definitely some clover came up, and we have a cornfield about 75 yards over there. So hopefully one of those two things is going to draw them up here tonight to feed. It's very warm this evening. It's definitely over 70 degrees, really sunny and calm. So, hopefully the deer come up to feed before dark, but we'll see what happens. Been pretty slow so far. Them 2 young ones ran through like right after I got here, but nothing since then. Got about a half hour left. I think I've been hearing some stuff down in the woods, so hopefully some bigger ones are on their way up. Fingers crossed.
This stand normally produces close-range deer encounters. However, on this hunt, the corn is drawing them farther away than usual. Isaac hopes history is on his side, and that deer will emerge within range.
Well, no luck. It still seems fairly light out, but we're definitely out of legal shooting light, so I'm gonna try to scoot out of here before anything comes in, and it's too dark to shoot anyway, so only that one other young one came out of the cornfield and fed out there for a little bit, but nothing mature and nothing in range, so hopefully we get some colder temperature soon to get these deer on their feet.
As Kyla and I head south, I can't help but think back to the 2020 season, which began much like 2021, with a doe harvest from the very same stand.
It's Saturday, October 3rd, opening day of archery here in PA, and I'm super excited for this evening's hunt. The last bunch of days, deer have been coming in here way before dark, and I kicked 2 fawns out of the cornfield on my way back in here. There wasn't much avoiding that, but I didn't see any mature deer go with them, so I think we'll be okay, but hopefully we can get it done on opening day.
This particular hunt kicked off with buck sightings as well, including a brief glimpse at the very same 10 point I thought I saw to kick off our hunt in 2021. Much earlier than this year, however, a mature doe made her way towards the corn in front of me.
archery season. But that arrow was right where I wanted it. Finally calmed down a little bit. 17 yards. That was so cool. I can see my arrow. I'm gonna try to get the camera on that. Hopefully it's a full pass through and we can get a good look. And, see for sure. I'm gonna try to get backed up and climb down out of here. Those does are starting to leave the food plot, so I don't want them to know where I'm at. So as soon as they're out of here, we'll go look. I'm convinced she's not far, so we'll go get the light and tripod for the camera and everything, and hopefully we can find her.
Right here. I was getting kind of worried. We were tracking her pretty far and she just was not leaving a lot of blood, but she went probably 120 to 150 yards and just actually piled up right here on the power line, which is going to make it really easy to get out of here. But we'll get her tagged and taken care of, and now the work starts.
After my opening day success in 2020, I was able to fill my remaining doe tags with a bow in 2 weeks, leaving me plenty of time to focus on bucks.
I couldn't be happier with the start to this 2021 season.
I can only hope that this year's opening day success will be the catalyst for a repeat of the previous season. For now though, I've got an out-of-state hunt to focus on. Mid-October whitetail and fall turkey in West Virginia. I can't wait.